Hello, thank you for clicking on the video and welcome back to LJC Reads The Inferno by Dante Alighieri. This is going to be Canto number 4 today. Before we get into it, let's do a little summary of Canto number 3, and then afterwards we'll do a little plain speak summary of what we will read today. So where we left off, Dante and Virgil entered through the gates of hell and into the vestibule, the most outer ring. The vestibule houses souls of the apathetic and indifferent to good and evil. They arrive at the banks of the Acheron, where they find the ferryman Charon. Charon takes them and other souls across, where Dante is seized with terror, falls into a trance or sleep. Okay, so we're going to pick up at Canto number 4. Alright, here we go. Canto 4, Divine Comedy, The Inferno, Dante Alighieri. Broke the deep lethargy within my head, a heavy thunder, so that I upstarted, like to a person who by force is awakened, and round about I moved my rested eyes. Uprisen erect and steadfastly I gazed to recognize the place wherein I was. True is it that upon the verge I found me, of the abysmal valley dolorous, that gathers thunder of infinite ululations. Obscure, profound it was, and nebulous, so that by fixing on its depths my sight, nothing whatever I discerned therein. Let us descend now into this blind world, began the poet, pallid utterly. I will be first, and thou shalt second be. And I, who of his color was aware, said, How shall I come if thou art afraid? Who art wont to be a comfort to my fears? And he to me, The anguish of the people who are below here in my face depicts that pity which for terror thou hast taken. Let us go on, for the long way impels us. Thus he went in, and thus he made me enter the foremost circle that surrounds the abyss. There, and so far as I had power to hear, were lamentations none, but only sighs, that tremulous made the everlasting air, and this arose from sorrow without torment, which the crowds had, that many were and great, of infants and of women and of men. To me the master good, thou dost not ask what spirits these may be, which thou beholdest now, will I have thee know, ere thou go further, that they sin not, and if they merit had, 'tis not enough, because they had not baptism, which is the portal of the faith thou holdest. And if they were before Christianity in the right manner, they adored not God, and among such as these am I myself, for such defects, and not for other guilt. Lost are we, and are only so far punished, that without hope we live on in desire. Great grief seized on my heart when this I heard, because some people of much worthiness I knew, who in that limbo were suspended. Tell me, my master, tell me, thou my lord, began I, with desire of being certain of that faith which overcometh every error. Come any one by his own merit hence, or by another's, who was blessed thereafter? And he who understood my covert speech replied, I was a novice in this state, when I saw hither come a mighty one, with sign of victory and coronate. Hence he drew forth the shade of the first parent, and that of his son Abel, and of Noah, of Moses the lawgiver, and the obedient Abraham patriarch, and David king. Israel with his father and his children, and Rachel, for whose sake he did so much, and others many. And he made them blessed, and thou must know, that earlier than these never were any human spirits saved. We ceased not to advance because he spake, but still were passing onward through the forest. The forest, say I, of thick crowded ghosts. Not very far as yet our way had gone, this side the summit, when I saw a fire, that overcame a hemisphere of darkness. We were a little distant from it still, but not so far that I in part discerned not that honorable people held that place. O thou who honorest every art and science, who may these be which such great honor have, that from the fashion of the rest imparts them? And he to me, the honorable name, that sounds of them above there in thy life wins grace in heaven, that so advances them. In the meantime a voice was heard by me, All honor be to the preeminent poet, his shade returns again, that was departed. After the voice had ceased and quiet was, 4 mighty shades I saw approaching us. Semblance had they nor sorrowful nor glad. To say to me began my gracious master, Him with that falcon in his hand, behold, who come before the 3, even as their lord, that one is Homer, poet sovereign. He who comes next is Horace, the satirist. The third is Ovid, and the last is Lucan. Because to each of these with me applies the name, that solidarity voice proclaimed, they do me honor, and in that do well. Thus I beheld assemble the fair school, of that lord of the song preeminent, who o'er the others like an eagle soars. When they together had discoursed somewhat, they turned to me with the signs of salutation, and on beholding this my master smiled, and more of honor still, much more they did me, in that they made me one of their own band, so that the sixth was I, mid so much wit. Thus we went on as far as to the light, things saying 'tis becoming to keep silent, as was the saying of them where I was. We came unto a noble castle's foot, 7 times encompassed with lofty walls, defended round by a fair rivulet. This we passed over, even as firm ground. Through portals 7 I entered with these sages. We came into a meadow of fresh verdure. People were there with solemn eyes and slow, of great authority in their countenance. They spake but seldom, and with gentle voices. Thus we withdrew ourselves upon one side, into an opening luminous and lofty, so that they all of them were visible. There opposite, upon the green enamel, were pointed out to me the mighty spirits, whom to have seen I feel myself exalted. I saw Electra with companions many, mongst whom I knew both Hector and Aeneas, Caesar in armor with gerfalcon eyes. I saw Camilla and Penthesilea. On the other side I saw the king Latinus, who with Lavinia his daughter sat. I saw that Brutus, who drove Tarquin forth, Lucretia, Julia, Marcia, and Cornelia, and saw alone apart the Saladin. When I had lifted up my brows a little, the master I beheld of those who know sit with his philosophic family. All gaze upon him, and all do him honor. There I beheld both Socrates and Plato, who neared him before the others stand. Democritus, who put the world on chance, Diogenes, Anaxagoras, and Thales, Zeno, Empedocles, and Heraclitus. Of qualities I saw the good collector high, Dioscorides and Orpheus. Saw I Tully and Livy, the mortal Seneca, Euclid, geometrician, and Ptolemy, Galen, Hippocrates, Avicenna, Averroes, who are the great comment made. I cannot all of them portray in full, because so drives me onward the long theme, that many times the world comes short of fact, the sixfold company in two divides. Another way my sapient guide conducts me forth from the quiet to the air that trembles, and to a place I come where nothing shines. Alright, we'll put the picture of Homer and Dante and the poets up on the screen. And why don't we put the map of hell up too? Just for reminders. So last time they were in the vestibule, this time Canto 4, Dante and Virgil descended into the first circle of hell, Limbo, the location for the unbaptized, or those who were born pre-Christian, including figures like Socrates, Hippocrates, Diogenes, Aeneas, and Saladin. I do think it's interesting that Dante includes Saladin in Canto 4, but great, you know, he says pretty much he's virtuous, and that Saladin's only problem was that he was unbaptized. And other people like Diogenes. I mean, Diogenes is a pretty crazy guy, but, you know, his only problem is he didn't believe in the right God, according to Dante. So yeah, thanks so much for watching Canto 4. It's going to probably be a little bit longer between the parts nowadays, but it won't be too long, and we'll have Canto 5.